Chapter 14. The entire area of Dragon Garden is filled with luxurious villas. Each villa is a mile apart, surrounded by clear water and lush green scenery. They are furnished in a luxurious European style, bringing forth an atmosphere of utmost elegance. When the villa's security guards see Yang Chen, suspicion sprouts within them, as they are very curious as to why a rich man is walking in. However, due to his whole body being covered in branded Western clothing, they do not stop him from entering, saving Yang Chen from a long explanation. After he has entered Dragon Garden, Yang Chen has to walk 2 more kilometers before reaching Unit 89. The entire villa exceeds 400 square m in size. This figure is without considering the gigantic swimming pool or including the huge garage outside. There is a Baroque-styled garden made up of large and heavy stones. It is not hard to imagine how enormous the price tag of this house would be. A few moments after he rings the doorbell, the finely carved mahogany door opens. The person opening the door is a home-clothed middle-aged lady with an apron, with a face showing few signs of aging. Her visage is maintained very well, so that she does not look that old despite being around 40 or 50 years old. At this moment, upon seeing Yang Chen, her eyes reveal some happiness, then she enthusiastically says, "You must be young master, Miss did say you would come today. Please come in." Yang Chen is able to relax seeing how the middle-aged lady is not interested in his background. He enters the house, smiles and says, "Elder sister, how should I address you?" "My name is Wang Yulan, you can simply call me Wang Ma," Wang Ma says with open eyebrows and smiling eyes, continuing with, "How can I allow young master to address me as elder sister? I've watched little miss grow up, it would be more appropriate to call me auntie." TL, Wang Ma, or also Mother Wang. Basically she is Lin Ruoxi's nanny, guardian. Wang Ma isn't old at all. You definitely can still capture the hearts of many men if you walk down the street right now, Yang Chen says sincerely. There is no woman who doesn't like being complimented as beautiful. Wang Ma may be middle-aged, but naturally she would not be different from everybody else. Feeling even more joyful, Wang Ma has Yang Chen sit, and happily says, "Young master, please take a short rest, I will soon be done with the kitchen and we can have lunch. It's a pity that little miss has a meeting and doesn't have time to come home. Wang Ma, Lin, Ruoxi and you are the only ones living in this house." Yang Chen eyes wanders around. The villa has 3 floors, fully equipped with modern electronics. Inside it contains a set of real white leather sofas, black marble floor, mahogany furniture, some big and small paintings by famous artists, and a few blossoming orchids swaying on the window side. All of these give off a simple yet elegant appearance. Wang Ma gives a sorrowful sigh. That's right, with just as 2 women, the house feels strangely deserted. Little miss is so busy with work and is not at home all day. Normally it is just me all alone in this big house. However, from now on the situation will get better, since little miss has you together with her now, our house will finally have a man. It is more proper this way. Seeing how content Wang Ma looks, Yang Chen curiously asks, "Wang Ma, don't you feel strange how Ruoxi suddenly married me?" Wang Ma laughs and says, "Young master, I've seen little miss grow up ever since she was small. Little miss never had a single boyfriend, though those who tried to woo her aren't few. However, little miss never looked at any of them, yet she married you." Yang Chen nods in understanding, yet in his heart he softly murmurs how Wang Ma wouldn't possibly have thought that the marriage between Lin Ruoxi and himself is only by contract. Yang Chen contently burps after having finished the luxurious lunch. He rubs his round stomach and laughs saying, "Wang Ma's craft is amazing, it tasted much better than those big restaurants." TL, the amazing Tao of food. Wang Ma happily says, "Is that so? Then young master should eat at home more frequently in the future. Little miss has emergencies at work and doesn't return home often. The food is cooked yet there is no one to eat it, it is such a pity to throw it away. That brat is throwing away heavenly objects. You should ignore her. Wang Ma can just make good food for me in the future." Yang Chen pounds on his chest. Wang Ma happily nods and agrees even though she knows that Yang Chen is only joking. After cleaning up, Wang Ma takes off her apron and says, "Young master, let me bring you to your room. Please let me know if there is anything else you need, I will go buy it for you." "My room. Yang Chen blanks out for a moment before remembering that he had agreed to not sleep together with Lin Ruoxi. Wang Ma leads the way and says, "Young master, little miss has thoughtfully chosen your room. She says you are used to sleeping alone, and thus specially prepared a big room for you. She even bought several sets of clothing which are inside." "Oh, is that so? Okay. Ruoxi is pretty thoughtful." Yang Chen rubs his nose, even he himself feels what he said sounds fake. "Isn't she? This is the first time I've seen little miss do so much for a man. Also, little miss says since you are currently busy with work, the marriage contract will be completed first, and the wedding banquet will be done in the future, all for you," Wang Ma happily says. At this moment, Yang Chen's head is full of sweat. What is this situation? So that chick has long prepared countermeasures against Wang Ma, by pushing all problems towards me. How busy could selling mutton skewers possibly be? Entering his room, Yang Chen feels a little surprised, as the room is humongous, to the point where it is bigger than the entire apartment that he was renting. Ceiling windows with white curtains swaying at the side, a flat king-sized bed, a 42-inch Sony LED TV, an Apple computer at the bedside complemented by a classical decorated side lamp, and a shining parquet floor. Looking towards the wall, there are two huge built-in cabinets, filled with brand new clothes, neckties and leather shoes. Lol a Mac heathen, where da 4K it. Yang Chen laughs inside, seems like my beautiful wife did not mistreat me, as having fitting clothing, the number one tool for acting, has been completely prepared. How is it? I hope young master is pleased, Wang Ma enthusiastically says. I'm pleased, very pleased, this much better than what I expected, thank you Wang Ma. Yang Chen nods. Please give your thanks to little miss instead, all I did was run some errands. Wang Ma is already beginning to help connect this couple together. Yang Chen understands Wang Ma's intentions, but doesn't pop the bubble. Wang Ma, I still have several things that I need remaining at my previous home, so I'll have to make a trip back. That is as it should be, surely some things become a habit to use. However, Yang Chen awkwardly says, Wang Ma, do we have any transportation vehicle at home? If there isn't a car, a bicycle is fine too, I need something quick to get around. Wang Ma stares at Yang Chen in shock, as if seeing something incomparably scary. Young master, are you saying you walked in here? Unfortunately you have guessed correctly, Wang Ma. Yang Chen raises his hands. Wang Ma doesn't know whether to laugh or to cry, this little miss is too much. How could she let you, young master, walk here? Young master, you mustn't be so casual staying here in the future. You must at least have a car. Young master, please follow me, our house still has a few cars that are not often in use. You can take any one of them with you. Yang Chen's eyes lights up, as his hands were itching from seeing Lin Ruoxi drive the luxurious Bentley previously, but he has no money to buy a car. He has been envious of her all this while, yet now he can get such a car for free. Chapter 15. Oh, these cars, Miss usually doesn't use them. They were all given to her by business partners, Miss has basically never driven them at all. Young master, if you like any of them, you could just drive off with it. Wang Ma happily recommended. Yang Chen, curious about what his beautiful wife does for a living, refrained from asking Wang Ma due to embarrassment. After all, if he didn't even know that piece of information, wouldn't this marriage seem a bit too strange? Therefore, he planned to find time and ask Lin Ruoxi herself. After looking around the garage, Yang Chen finally spotted a relatively normal sports car, a milky white BMW M3. However, in fact, this car is already considered one of the best in the city, with a top speed of 300 kph. Yet in Lin Ruoxi's garage, there really aren't any cars less eye-catching than this M3. This car will do. Yang Chen said, while pointing at the M3. Wang Ma a little doubtfully asked, young master, why not pick a better car? This car seems to be the cheapest of the bunch. A $1.2 million car was the cheapest. Yang Chen laughed and explained, this car will do, an eye-catching car isn't good, it is better not to flaunt wealth and maintain a low profile. No wonder Miss is willing to settle with young master master's character is really rare. Youngsters nowadays all want to flaunt their wealth, yet young master tries to hide it. Wang Ma nodded in content, then went to the corner of the garage to retrieve the keys for the M3. Yang Chen deftly got into the car, and the automatic garage door rolled up. Yang Chen then waved goodbye to Wang Ma as the car shot out of the garage like an arrow. Wang Ma silently watched Yang Chen drive off, sighs and says to herself, youngsters nowadays are really difficult to understand. Although Yang Chen hasn't driven in half a year, he didn't feel that his driving skills had deteriorated. The M3's excellent quality showed itself as it flew down Shanghai City's expressway like a mirage. Weaving through the traffic as if there were no obstacles, constantly driving above 100 kph, this is considered a shocking speed in the city. Occasionally, there would be a few traffic policemen who noticed Yang Chen's excessive speeding, but before they could react he had already whizzed past them. In less than half an hour, Yang Chen arrived at his own apartment. After going up the floors, Yang Chen found his apartment door open, and frowned. His first reaction was that someone had broken in, but peeking into the apartment, the person he found inside was actually the familiar Li Jingjing. Li Jingjing wore a white blouse embroidered with flowers, a cool green short skirt, with her dark hair tied into a ponytail, and a few strands swaying along with the breeze flowing in. She looked youthfully elegant and refined. At that moment, the girl was earnestly mopping the floor. Although Yang Chen's apartment only had a few things, dust was something it did not lack. Seeing Yang Chen return home, Li Jingjing revealed streaks of joy and a flushed face because of the exercise, like a refreshing teenager in summertime. Big brother Yang, you're home. Yang Chen felt a touch of warmth in his heart. Before Li Jingjing left for university 2 months ago, she often came to help clean. Now after returning with a job, she still found the time to help him clean his apartment. With a heart full of pity and guilt for the girl, Yang Chen moved forward to touch Li Jingjing's ponytail and says, Jingjing, don't come to sweep this place anymore, I'm moving. Moving. Li Jingjing Momentar. Yang Chen thought for a while, and chose to speak the truth, no, I just got married, and am about to move in with my wife. I will still be in Shanghai though. Suddenly, Li Jingjing's face turned ashen white and some tears started to float around the surface of her beautiful eyes, yet she immediately pointed her head down to wipe it off. Just from her trembling shoulders, anyone would understand that she had lost her calm. After the two shared some time in deep silence, Li Jingjing raised her head with red eyes, and showed a strong smile, congratulations, big brother Yang. Sister-in-law she must be really beautiful. Yang Chen's heart also trembled a little, but short-term pain is better than long-term pain. Yang Chen believed that Li Jingjing has to face this in the end, so he steeled his heart. Listening to Li Jingjing's words, Lin Ruoxi's beautiful face flashed across his mind and he subconsciously nodded. A hint of despair flashes in Li Jingjing's eyes, and subsides. She then sourly smiles and says, Big brother Yang, you're really awful, such a big affair yet you didn't let me know. But I still have to give the two of you my blessing. I'm leaving now. Watching Li Jingjing tread down the stairs like a hurt little rabbit, Yang Chen felt terrible in his heart, and says in a hurry, Jingjing, in a few days I will go to Yizhang to visit you, work hard. Yizhang is the name of the school Li Jingjing works at, called First Middle, but the author doesn't specify if it is a high school or junior high or both. Li Jingjing momentarily paused her steps, softly complied, and ran down the staircase. Waiting till Li Jingjing had left for some time, Yang Chen then drew a cigarette out from his pocket, lit it up, and violently smoked a few breaths. The melancholy in his eyes gradually dissipated, and it turned to resoluteness. Yang Chen was absolutely confident in his memory. When he left home he had definitely locked the door. This meant that the reason Li Jingjing had been able to enter was because the door had already been forcibly opened by someone else. However, who would barge into his house for no reason? Yang Chen thought of two possibilities. First, it could be China's intelligence agency beginning to investigate him, but that seemed illogical, because if they really wanted to handle him, going directly to him would be more effective. Second, it could also have been Chen Feng who he had agitated 2 days ago. Since realizing that entire police force couldn't take him down, thinking of another way would be inevitable. Chen Feng is the guy who was creating trouble for the street vendors. Really, not shedding tears till seeing the coffin. Yang Chen stoically says, then tosses away the cigarette and begins to sort out his belongings. Yang Chen rearranged the large chest in his house, stuffed some clothes into his large ragged bag, then proceeded to one of the white walls in the toilet. Yang Chen fiercely threw a punch towards it and a hole appeared in the wall. Yang Chen retrieved a fist-sized black wooden box, and immediately placed it into the bag with the clothes. Again speeding, Yang Chen returned to the villa at Dragon Garden. After parking the car, Yang Chen entered the villa from the automatic door. The moment he entered, he saw a beautiful figure lying on the sofa in the living room while a new Korean drama was playing on the huge TV. With her hair tied up in a bun, and an exquisitely white jade neck that could give a person 1,000 dreams, who else could it be other than the newlywed Lin Ruoxi? Yang Chen revealed a playful smile. It was unexpected that my ice-cold wife actually likes watching romantic Korean dramas. At the same time, finding this fun, the pent-up depressed mood turns for the better. He walked up and fiercely grabbed Lin Ruoxi's shoulders. My good wife, give hubby a kiss. Chapter 16. Startled by Yang Chen's sudden appearance, Lin Ruoxi jumped from the sofa and struggled to escape from his arms. She glared at Yang Chen. You are not allowed to touch me. Hey now, you don't have to overreact that much. Yang Chen grimaced while shrugging his shoulders. I was just teasing you. If I actually kissed you, I'm sure in the middle of the night I'd be hacked into pieces like in the movie Psycho. Lin Ruoxi ignored Yang Chen as she pressed a button on the TV remote. As the TV turned off, her face began blushing knowing that Yang Chen has now figured out her guilty pleasure of watching rom-coms. She gave Yang Chen an angry look. I heard from Wang Ma that you went to pack up your old belongings. Don't you dare bring those dirty things into my house. Don't worry, it's just a few articles of clothing, Yang Chen replied while pointing toward a small bag at the foot of the stairs. Though, my greatest woe is that after living here, what will happen to my mutton skewer stand? You still want to open your stand. Lin Ruoxi growled as she looked at Yang Chen as if she was staring at a freak. No matter how much she tried to understand him, she could never understand his obsession with selling mutton skewers. Blinking his eyes, Yang Chen replied, what of it? Our marriage contract didn't bar me from selling mutton skewers, right? Gnashing her teeth, Lin Ruoxi responded, in no way would I allow you to sell your mutton skewers. Tomorrow, you must go out and find a job, preferably a respectable job in an office building. Yang Chen scratched his head while looking perplexed. To be honest, with a degree from Harvard University, which he easily obtained, it would be very easy for him to enter a majority of the top companies, but he is not used to sitting in an office with AC. In his eyes, this type of career could never match the joy of selling mutton skewers on the street. You don't need to think of an excuse, this is mandatory. Interjected Lin Ruoxi. Looking at Ruoxi's, if you don't switch your job, you're dead, gaze while remembering her previous suicide threat, Yang Chen felt a sudden cold sweat and quickly consented, okay, I'll listen to you. Tomorrow, I'll go and find a new job. Hearing these words, Ruoxi approvingly nodded. Appearing to suddenly remember something, she took out her bag and retrieved a new smartphone from it. Handing it to Yang Chen, she said, here, take this phone in case I can't find you when you go out. Yang Chen excitedly received the phone. Seems like this is a profitable marriage, a mansion, a sports car, and even a free phone. Even though this wife looks a bit distant, she is very attractive and well-mannered. Looking at Yang Chen's blissful expression, Ruoxi couldn't do anything other than to give him a contempt look. Stifling a yawn, while making a tired stretching pose, she said, well, I'm off to bed. You can go prepare for tomorrow's job hunt. Just as Ruoxi started climbing up the stairs, the doorbell suddenly rang. Wang Ma, who was busy in the kitchen, dashed out while wiping her wet hands on her apron, and opened the door. Master, you've come. Hearing Wang Ma saying master, Ruoxi's face suddenly became pale as she elegantly turned around to look at the middle-aged man walking into the house. The mature man wore a dark blue shirt while giving off a refined aura with his well-shaved beard. The only way you could tell H. At the same moment Lin Kun entered from the door, his expression became extremely ugly. Giving dagger looks at Ruoxi, he quickly swept his gaze around and glanced at Yang Chen. Father, Ruoxi weakly called out. His arrival didn't garner much surprise. It was almost as if he was a stranger without any feelings. Father. Lin Kun coldly laughed. In your eyes, do you even see me as one? Without any warning, you just married this strange brute. Do you even see me as a father? Lin Kun's roar caused the whole room to shake in echo. Wang Ma, standing at the wrong place and time, was scared silly. Never would she have expected that her young miss would marry someone without informing her father. Ruoxi's eyes began to turn red as tears started welling up inside. However, she fought back, saying, as I've said before, my marriage is my decision. So what if he is a brute? I would rather marry this guy than Xu Zihong. Is this how you talk to your father? Lin Kun sneered, great, what a waste raising you up. Don't ever think that just because your grandmother gave you the company, I can't educate you on what to do. Don't forget, I still have 30% of the shares in the company. I am a major stockholder. Even more importantly, I am your biological father. Father. Ruoxi bit her lips and wept, ever since I was little, only mother and grandma was by my side. I never even caught a glimpse of your shadow back then. Furthermore, I don't like Xu Zihong at all. You don't have to waste your time thinking about this. You don't like him. So what? It wouldn't hurt to be engaged to the next CEO of the Donghua Science and Technology Co. And are you telling me that you actually like this brute? Lin Kun said while pointing at Yang Chen who was standing still. From the moment Lin Kun entered till the father-daughter conversation, Yang Chen understood most of what was going on. It seemed like it was because of this ill-tempered father's forcing, that Lin Ruoxi had chosen to marry him. But of course, the series of unfortunate events which led to their man-woman relationship is a big reason that caused this marriage too. Being called a brute more than once, even the heart of a clay Buddha would feel uncomfortable. Yang Chen, who had not taken the role of that man's son-in-law, looked at Lin Kun's finger and said, Uncle, I advise you to put down your finger. It might be dangerous. Lin Kun sneered, you prick, even you are talking back to me. I'm aware of who you are. I have already assigned people to investigate clearly. You're just a wet market's mutton skewer vendor. Even though I don't know what you did to my daughter to make her marry you, but in my eyes you are just a pile of shit. Hey. What are you doing? In a flash, Lin Kun, who was acting all high and mighty, suddenly pulled his finger back in pain. Holding his finger, you could see droplets of sweat rolling down his forehead. Yang Chen, Ruoxi had seen it clearly. Yang Chen's hand had instantaneously shot out and pinched Lin Kun's extended finger. And then he pulled his finger back so quickly that it seemed as if he didn't move at all. Yang Chen showed a calm expression, and he turned to Ruoxi while grinning, it's nothing serious, I just don't like it when people point fingers and curse at me. Especially when I already advised them not to. His finger is broken. It'll take around 10 days to a month to heal. If it was the previous him, just now, that man would have had his head broken. Lin Kun resisted the pain and roared, just you wait bastard. I won't let you die a peaceful death. I will find somebody to deal with you. Father, stop talking, what happened to your hand? Although Ruoxi hated her father, blood is thicker than water. At this moment, looking at Lin Kun's painful expression, Ruoxi's heart softened as she squatted down to help support him. You slut. Don't touch me. Lin Kun screamed as he suddenly pushed aside Ruoxi, throwing her down on the ground. Father. Ruoxi's complexion turned pale, as she could not believe that her father would actually call her a slut. Ruoxi's eyes grew dimmer as she is about to faint. In the corner, Wang Ma was already in tears, but this was not her place for a servant to speak up. However, upon seeing Ruoxi on the ground crying, she quickly went up to console her. Lin Kun hobbled back up as he glared at Yang Chen. Youngster, remember how you hit me. I, Lin Kun, will make sure you are unable to comprehend your death. Noticing Ruoxi who was thrown off to the side, Yang Chen felt his heart being clenched involuntarily. No matter how cold she may be, on pen and paper, she was still Yang Chen's legal wife. Anger started welling up inside of him. While Yang Chen's face seemed tranquil, only his lips betrayed his demeanor, with them arcing up showing a contemptuous look. I'll only say this once. I never go around looking for trouble. I don't know what happened between you and my wife, and I don't care to know. But I have a principle. I hate being threatened. Without waiting for Lin Kun's reaction, a lightning-fast palm struck onto Lin Kun's left cheek. Ha! The whole living room became deadly silent as the crisp sounds started echoing around. Just then, the recently standing Lin Kun got slapped unconscious with a single hit. Young master, about this, Wang Ma stammered as she didn't notice Yang Chen's outrageous strength. How should we deal with this? Look at this commotion. As for Ruoxi, she had already collapsed in Wang Ma's embrace as she looked at these past events with not even a trace of concern. Yang Chen said in an indifferent tone, Wang Ma, just take care of Ruoxi. Let me deal with this stupid pig. After saying those words, Yang Chen picked Lin Kun from the ground and dragged him out of the house. After having walked a short distance, Yang Chen arrived at the dumpster site, lightly threw Lin Kun into it, and subsequently closed the iron lid.